everyone, welcome to Mogu Knitting. In this video, I would like to share with you everything I knit in 2025. I kind of cheated and I also included things that I finished knitting in January of 2026. I'm sorry that it took so long to make this video. I was really busy the end of the year, and in the beginning of this year I was sick, so I am only getting to make this video right now. I don't have a lot of details to share because honestly I didn't take any notes and I don't really remember, so I'm just going to share with you the items, designer of the items, and then the yarn that I use. Even though this video would not have a lot of details, I still wanted to film this video because I really enjoy watching them. I'm really nosy and I like to see what people knit, because sometimes when I watch I get really inspired by the pieces other people make. Hopefully these pieces will inspire you to make them. Hopefully, I don't know, or maybe just provide you with some entertainment. So this is everything that I knit in 2025. It is not in chronological order because I cannot remember when I actually finished knitting these pieces, and I'm just going to mention them in the order that I have written them down in my iPad. So I would like to start. The first item is wearing right now is the wave sweater by this designer. I'm just going to include the designer on the screen because I cannot pronounce it and I don't want to butcher it, but I'm wearing it. So as you can see, I still have yet to do the bind off for the edges because I was thinking if I should rip it back, but now after I've steam blocked it, I think I might just finish off the Italian bind off and keep it. If you would like to see how I knit it, I have a different video that I made of me knitting this wave sweater, and in that video I share with you my knitting process and some tips that I learned while knitting this sweater. So for this sweater, I knitted using yarn from Untold in the Supreme Wool collection, and the color apple sour for the light green and sweet cherry for the pink. So this is my sweater, the Porcelain Damask. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrongly, but this is a sweater by Leknit, and it is like her porcelain sweater, but instead of using color work, she knitted in like pearl stitches to make the design of it pop out more, and I really think it's a very cute and subtle look. Like sometimes you just don't really want to wear like a color work item, so I thought this was really cute design. I really liked wearing it. I always have no idea how to pronounce it, but I knitted in the yarn by Onling, and it is the color 2607 nude warm gray. And I'm sorry, but I think this yarn has been discontinued because I also bought it when it was on sale, and I love it so much. I washed this I think like twice or 3 times, and it is so soft. As you can see, like the drape of it, like I just love the way it feels. It feels really soft. I just used yarn from Onling and from Untold because they always have really good sales, and I always just buy them when they are on sale. And the next item I knit is the Clematis sweater by Emma's Knit. It is this sweater with this diagonal design in the front, and I have affixed like some buttons, but I never actually ever use the buttons. I just wear it like a regular sweater. I knit it in the cotton merino yarn by Untold in the color eucalyptus. This yarn is also really soft. If you can touch it, it is so soft, and I think cotton merino really soft. I have another top, the Blouse #1, that I knitted in like the yellow color. I knit in also a cotton merino yarn, but not by Untold, by Indie Dyer in Japan, and it is also really soft. So I would like to believe that all cotton and wool yarns are really soft. And the other sweater that I knit is my Salcombe sweater. I hope I pronounced it right. This is the Salcombe sweater by cocoamour knitwear. This is the second time I've knit this sweater, and in this same colorway, because the first time I knit it, I spun dry it in my washing machine and then it felted, so one sleeve is way shorter than the other sleeve, so I really liked the colorway, so I decided to knit it again. This time to knit this sweater, I used yarn from Untold, in the supreme wool and silk mohair. For the blue color is the color True Blue, and the orange color is Orange Pop. The next item I want to share with everybody is this cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I have yet to weave in all the ends. You can see the yarn, but this is what it looks like. I used yarn from taobao. If you don't know, taobao is like China Amazon, where I bought some yarn. I decided to buy some yarn from taobao is because my mother wanted me to knit her a cardigan, so I'm knitting this cardigan for my mother. And I'm afraid that if I were to knit it in wool, like, she wouldn't know how to take care of it because it's more delicate. She wouldn't be able to wash it in the washing machine. So I decided to get some yarns that are more affordable from taobao. I wanted to buy yarn that is more affordable, so in case it gets ruined in the wash, like, I won't feel too sad about it. And I knit it in 2 colors. I knit the ribbing in a dark color because she really liked this cardigan from this knitwear company. I can't really remember. It's kind of a handmade knitwear company, and she really liked that it was really colorful and they had different accent colors for the ribbing, and she really wanted something like that. But I managed to convince her to agree for me to knit it in more neutral color so that she can pair it more easily with her outfits. And so I decided to go with like this light brown color and this darker brown color. I was too lazy to gauge swatch, and that is my problem. I knit this with holding 3 strands of yarn together, and after I blocked it, it grew so much. So even though it looks like super big, and I did knit it in a bigger size, but it grew so much more. And the sleeves, when I knitted, they were just nice, like right at the wrist length, but after I blocked it, they grew so much. Hopefully it will not be too big for her. So I still have to weave in the ends and sew on the buttons. So for the buttons, she has chosen some plain red buttons, and I think it would be a really nice contrast, like to have the brown, the darker brown, and then just a pop of color for the buttons. So I will sew this on eventually. The last long sleeve item I knit is this blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. This is the second time I've knit this pattern. I knit this up using cotton yarn from itobatake in their cotton yarn called Natural Earth in the color Pure White, and I held it double. A few changes I made for this top compared to my previous time I knit the blouse number 1 was that for my previous blouse number 1, I found that I didn't like that the armhole was really low, and the more times I washed it, the more times it stretched out. However, I really liked the width of the fit, so I wanted to keep the width of the top the same while reducing the size of the armhole. Yeah, so I did the same number of increases to get to the same number of stitches on my needles, but I did it over a shorter number of rows. So that's how I achieved the smaller armhole. And another change that I made was that I made this like a split hem. I tried to check if I took any notes while I was binding off, but I did not take any notes. So hopefully in 2026 I will take better notes. But I think for what I did was that I split the body into the front and back, and then I put it, so when I was binding off the front, I put the back stitches on hold. Like, so for the first row, maybe I bound off like 4 stitches from the side and then continue working down and binding off 2 stitches or a few stitches each row to give it like the curved look. And then I did the same for the back. And I wanted it to have like a nicer finish, so I did an I-cord on the edge. I think this really helped with an issue I had on the first blouse number 1 I knit, was that in the pattern blouse number 1 they had you just cast off like normal knitting cast off, that was like kind of tight, like it was very difficult for me to put the top on and take it off. And I feel like because I knit this hem differently, it is like gives like a wider opening, so it's way easier for you to put it on, take it off. I really recommend doing this hem if you feel like the normal knitted bind off is like too tight and you don't really want to do a ribbing, because you are knitting more like a blouse rather than a sweater. I think this is a really good way to go around it. So moving on to summer knits. My summer knits, I just wanted to knit things that were sleeveless because I felt like they finished so much faster if I did not have to work on sleeves. So I knit 3 sleeveless tops, and the first one I knit was this ivy top by Petite Knit. So I knitted in the cotton yarn by Itobatake. They are souffle cotton in the color Poppy. It's this bright red color. I really like the color. So the first time I wore it, I had only steam blocked it. I had not washed it, and the fibers, they just rubbed off on everything. So like my bag or a coat, like the fibers, they just, anything that you rub against, it stuck onto. It was just, I was like, oh my gosh, why is it so red? And I realized that it was just from this top. So luckily I could just take off the fluff with a lint roller. When I came back from my trip, I washed the top. I've not worn it ever since, so I don't know if the fluff situation has improved. I really like the fit of the top. I think it's really cute. The yarn, hopefully the yarn, it just needed a wash before wearing, because I really like the color of this vibrant red, and I have some leftover yarn from knitting this top, and I'm thinking of knitting more things in this red color, and so hopefully I have no more issues with this yarn after washing. And the last item I have to show you is my mixed ribbed cami by Florence Miller. This is literally like fresh off the needles. I was working out on it this morning because I really wanted to include it in this video. I did it in a baby cotton yarn by Itobatake again. And this color is in the color Sky Gray, and I held the yarn double to knit it, so it's actually quite a thick fabric, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about wearing this in summer, because if you don't know, summer in Tokyo is so hot and so humid. Maybe it's something that I will wear in spring with like long sleeve shirt over it. So I knew it would be a bad idea to knit a warm weather like sleeveless top with this yarn held double, but I did it anyway. Was because I had yarn left over, and because I mistakenly bought yarn and then I found that I still had another cone of it lying around somewhere in my stash. And I like that because it is a negative ease top and it is knitted in ribbing, so basically it's really stretchy and really comfortable, and I like the way that it fits because it just molds to your body. And the last final wearable that I can show you guys is the Clematis by Mochiknits. It was supposed to be a top where the buttonholes are just like a strand of the yarn that is like a loop around the button, and I thought that that would be too fiddly for me to want to actually make the buttons functional. I wanted to use like a bigger button, which meant that the loop would have to be of a bigger loop, because I think in the pattern it was showing like smaller buttons, and I thought smaller buttons would make sense, the method of creating that buttonhole, and I didn't want to do that, so I decided to just sew both sides together and just sew the button in the middle, so they actually are just non-functional buttons. And it is top using this silk yarn from Itobatake, and the silk yarn is from a collection, I think it's French, so I'm not sure how to say in French. I would just say how it is written out in Japanese, and it's Conforto. Oh, and I'm using it in the color Teddy, I think. Yeah, so that is my Clematis by Mochiknits. So I just switched back to my long sleeve top because it's actually very cold and I have my heater blasting, but it's still more comfortable and a long sleeve top. There are a few other items I would like to give a mention in this video. One of them is that I actually started knitting the petal socks by Florence Miller. I thought I wanted to give like socks another try. I really had a lot of fun. Like when I was knitting this, I could not stop knitting it. I really like the look of it, but I don't know, after a while I just didn't feel like picking it up again. Like I just did not feel like working on this project. I was thinking like I am not somebody to wear like wool socks because I just think like the wool is too precious for me to wear on my feet. So I think I might just be frogging this and knitting something else with the yarn. I'm thinking of knitting a souffle scarf with the yarn. That is actually a perfect segue for the second item I would like to mention, was that I also knit a souffle scarf. I was commissioned to knit by one of my friends, and this is a picture of it. I even did like a short form video of it. You can guys go check it out if you like. It was really fun and it looked really cute and really stylish, so I kind of wanted one for myself. So I think I'm going to frog this project and use the yarn to knit a souffle scarf. And that is everything that I knit in 2025. I thought I knit fewer items than that because there was like a period where I was so fatigued from knitting the mixed rib cami that I did not feel like knitting. The only way that I could finish knitting my mixed rib cami was it was my church knitting piece, so I would knit it while I was at church listening to my Sunday sermon, and that's how I got through knitting it. Yeah, so but for 2026 I think I would like to knit more. I already have a few projects that I would like to knit. I'm really excited to start working on them, and hopefully in 2026 I will be able to make more videos and hopefully upload a bit more frequently. It really encourages me to make more videos if I feel like people are enjoying them. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!